chosen ones, they know you're the boss. Your rise has been unstoppable, and the impact you're making is undeniable. Every step you take toward greatness is a reminder to those who doubted you. This is your time. Your success has become their nightmare, and they can't stand the fact that you're breaking barriers, defying expectations, and showing up stronger every single day. Your confidence, your resilience, and your vision are shaking the very foundations of their comfort zones. The more you rise, the angrier they get. They see your potential, and it scares them. But that's exactly why you keep pushing. The harder they try to hold you back, the further you'll go. They know you're the boss, and they're furious because they can't control it. You're on a path they never could have predicted. And that's what makes you unstoppable. If you're ready to embrace your rise, type, "I am ready" in the comments. And before we dive deeper, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support is the fuel that helps spread these messages to others who need them. Let's get into it. The impact of your rise. Your rise has shifted the dynamics around you in ways that cannot be ignored. It's as though the ground beneath their feet has moved, forcing people to reassess the space they occupy in the world. Those who once saw you as a background figure now find themselves unable to avoid the undeniable presence you bring. Your growth is a disruption, a force that shakes the foundations of their comfort zones. It's not because you've sought to impose yourself, but because your progress naturally demands attention. When you succeed, it doesn't happen in isolation. It sends ripples outward, touching everyone in your orbit. These ripples are not gentle. They challenge the stillness many have grown used to. For some, this shift brings unease because it highlights the gap between where they are and where they could be. It's a mirror they didn't ask for, but cannot avoid. Your success compels them to confront their own choices, their own complacency, and their own limits. There's a sense of unease when someone rises beyond what others have deemed possible. People who once underestimated you are now left scrambling to adjust their perception. Their carefully crafted narratives about your potential no longer fit, and the dissonance leaves them unsettled. It's as though your rise has exposed the cracks in their worldview, and they are forced to acknowledge that their assumptions about you, and perhaps about themselves, were wrong. Your presence in this new space is not neutral. It carries a weight that shifts the balance of every interaction. You don't have to speak loudly or demand recognition. Your growth speaks for itself. It's in the way you carry yourself, the confidence you exude, and the results you deliver. This quiet dominance unsettles those who rely on control, as it leaves them with no easy way to dismiss or diminish you. For many, your rise is a wake-up call. It's a jarring reminder that comfort zones are illusions of safety. Watching you move forward reminds them that progress is possible, but it also highlights their decision to remain stagnant. This realization is not always met with inspiration. More often, it triggers defensiveness and resentment. They feel exposed, as though your light is casting shadows on their own lack of action. The discomfort others feel is a direct result of your growth, not a deliberate action on your part. It's the natural consequence of stepping into your potential. As you rise, the gap between your trajectory and theirs becomes more apparent. This gap is not just a measure of success, but a challenge to the narratives they've told themselves. It forces them to ask why they haven't pursued more, why they haven't risen higher, and whether they are capable of doing so. Each step you take forward further dismantles the assumptions and expectations they had about you. It's not that they were prepared for your failure. but they had become comfortable with the idea of you staying in a certain place. Your success disrupts this balance, making it harder for them to deny your growth. It forces them to reassess their own limitations and question the stories they've built around their own lives. Your growth shifts the dynamics in ways that can't be undone. It makes people reconsider their paths, their choices, and their potential. They are confronted with the reality that their own stagnation is a choice. And your success is proof of what is possible when one refuses to stay confined. Why they're furious. Your success has a way of cutting through the facade that others maintain. It exposes the quiet corners where insecurities and unfulfilled dreams hide. This is where their frustration stems from. Not from anything you've done to provoke it, but from what your accomplishments reveal about their own choices. It's as though your growth has cast a bright light into the dimly lit spaces of their lives, and the clarity it brings is not something they are prepared to handle. Your achievements are like a mirror, reflecting back to them all the things they once wanted but gave up on. Every milestone you reach is a silent reminder of their own missed opportunities and half-hearted efforts. They may not say it aloud, but their frustration comes from recognizing the distance between where they are and where they once dreamed of being. In seeing you succeed, they are forced to confront the reality that their limitations are self-imposed. For those who have grown comfortable in their excuses, your rise feels like an intrusion. It disrupts the delicate balance they've built around rationalizing their lack of effort or ambition. Your progress is not just an achievement, it's a statement that challenges their narrative. It's like watching someone build a thriving garden in the same soil they once claimed was barren. They told themselves it couldn't be done, and now they're faced with the undeniable proof that it could. This confrontation with truth triggers a defensive reaction. They start to see you not just as someone who has succeeded, but as a living contradiction to their beliefs. The anger they feel is not about you. It's about what you represent. It's the fear that they too could have done more, achieved more, if only they had chosen differently. But instead of accepting this and moving forward, they turn their discomfort outward, projecting it onto you. It's a peculiar irony. While you focus on building and growing, they become fixated on tearing down. Their envy whispers lies, convincing them that your success somehow diminishes their worth. To them, it feels as though your rise steals the attention they crave or the opportunities they believe they deserved. It's as if your shine dims their own light, even though the truth is, there's enough space for everyone to grow and succeed. Their anger, however, doesn't come from a place of malice. It's rooted in fear, the fear of being left behind, of being exposed as stagnant while others surge ahead. Your achievements feel like a tidal wave crashing against their carefully constructed dam of denial. They sense that if they don't address the cracks your success has revealed, the whole structure might collapse. But instead of fixing the dam, they blame the wave. It's not just about what you've accomplished, it's about what they see in you that they believe they cannot achieve themselves. To them, your success is unattainable, not because it truly is, but because they've convinced themselves that it's beyond their reach. Your progress becomes a symbol of everything they lack: the discipline to start, the resilience to continue, and the courage to dream bigger. This internal struggle often manifests in subtle ways. They may belittle your achievements or downplay your efforts, trying to minimize the gap they feel between you and them. It's like someone criticizing a bird for flying too high, all while refusing to acknowledge that they have wings too. Their frustration is not with the bird, it's with their own unwillingness to soar. Their envy becomes a lens through which they view everything you do, distorting even your most genuine efforts. What they fail to see is that your success is not about them at all. It's the result of your focus, your determination, and your refusal to settle. Yet to them, it feels deeply personal, as though every step you take forward is a step that pushes them further into the shadows. This is why they're furious. Your rise is a reminder that their potential is still there, waiting to be unlocked. But instead of using your example as motivation, they choose resentment. They see your success as a challenge to their identity, a force that threatens the comfort of their complacency. It's not that they hate you. They hate what your success forces them to see in themselves. Their anger isn't really about you. It's about the insecurities your achievements bring to the surface. You've done nothing to provoke it except live authentically and work hard. Yet for them, your rise is like a storm that reveals the weaknesses in a ship. Instead of fixing the leaks, they curse the wind and waves. Their frustration is a reflection of their fear, and their fear is a reflection of what they believe they'll never become. Silent power that speaks volumes. Your quiet confidence is like the steady hum of a well-tuned engine, reliable, powerful, and always moving forward without unnecessary noise. It's not loud or boastful, yet its presence is undeniable. This silent strength is a force that commands attention, not through demands, but through the way it shapes the atmosphere around you. It's in the way you carry yourself, the way you navigate challenges with poise, and the way you achieve without announcing your intentions. This quiet power leaves others unsettled because they can feel it but cannot pinpoint its source. It's as if they're trying to understand the stillness of deep water while being unnerved by the knowledge of what might lie beneath the surface. They don't hear you coming, but they sense the shift when you arrive. Your calm demeanor disarms them, stripping away their usual defenses and leaving them unsure of how to respond. Your actions speak louder than any words ever could. While others feel the need to broadcast their achievements or declare their intentions, you let your results do the talking. This difference creates a stark contrast. Where they rely on noise to validate their worth, your silence carries more weight. It's like comparing a fleeting gust of wind to the steady pull of gravity. One is loud and temporary. The other is quiet and constant. Your ability to lead with action rather than words keeps them guessing. They can't predict your next move because you operate from a place of strategy and purpose rather than impulse. It's as if you're playing a game of chess while they're focused on checkers, unable to see beyond the immediate moment. This unpredictability keeps them on edge, constantly trying to anticipate your steps, but always falling short. What unnerves them most is the realization that you don't seek validation. You don't need their applause or approval to keep moving forward. Your self-assurance is like a mountain standing firm against the wind. It doesn't waver, and it doesn't seek acknowledgement for simply existing. This independence creates a power dynamic they can't control, leaving them feeling small and unsteady in your presence. Your calm demeanor also makes you an enigma. People are drawn to you, yet they can't fully understand you. It's like looking at a sealed book. There's an undeniable curiosity about what lies within, but they lack the ability to open it. This mystery amplifies your presence, making every action and every word carry a deeper weight. When you speak, they listen, not because you demand it, but because your words are rare and deliberate. The strength of your silence lies in its ability to amplify everything you do. A single move, a single achievement, carries the weight of 10 because it's not drowned out by unnecessary noise. Others find themselves chasing after the ripples you leave behind, trying to make sense of your strategy while struggling to keep up with your pace. It's as if they're running a race while you're quietly building a bridge to cross the finish line effortlessly. This quiet confidence is not something they can replicate. They might try to mimic your calmness or your self-assured demeanor, but it always falls short because it doesn't come from the same place. Your strength is rooted in authenticity and inner peace, while their attempts are often born from insecurity and a need to impress. It's the difference between a genuine flame that provides warmth and a spark that fizzles out as quickly as it appeared. Their inability to predict your moves creates a sense of vulnerability they're not used to feeling. They're accustomed to reading people, to deciphering intentions through words and actions. But with you, there's nothing to read. Your silence is impenetrable, like a fortress with no visible doors or windows. It frustrates them, leaving them grasping at straws while you continue to move forward with purpose and clarity. What makes your silent power so effective is that it doesn't rely on others to exist. It's not reactive, it's proactive. While they waste energy trying to figure you out, you're already 2 steps ahead, focused on your goals rather than their opinions. It's as though you're navigating a different plane of existence, one where their distractions and doubts simply don't reach. This ability to remain calm and composed under pressure only enhances your natural leadership. People gravitate toward you not because you seek to lead, but because your presence inspires trust and confidence. Your silence is a space that allows others to reflect, to think, and to find clarity in a way that noise never could. It's a power that can't be imitated because it comes from a deep understanding of who you are and what you stand for. Your silent strength is a paradox. It's subtle, yet overwhelming, calm, yet commanding. It doesn't announce itself, but it cannot be ignored. And while they may struggle to understand it, they can't deny the impact it has on them and everyone around you. Breaking free from their control. Your independence is like an unbroken current, flowing steadily and carving its own path, untouched by the rocks and debris that try to obstruct it. This self-reliance is your greatest shield, a force that keeps you untouchable against the opinions, judgments, and expectations of others. It's not that you ignore what they think. It's that their thoughts hold no power over you. Your choices are rooted in your own values and vision, not in the need to please or conform. This is where your freedom lies, and it frustrates them to no end. For those who thrive on control, your independence feels like a lock they can't pick. They're used to influencing others, bending them to their will through criticism, praise, or manipulation. But with you, those tools fall flat. It's as if they've thrown a lasso, only to find it slipping through thin air. They can't box you in because you've refused to play by their rules. This refusal isn't loud or confrontational. It's quiet, firm, and undeniable. Your self-reliance is a declaration of freedom. You don't wait for their approval to move forward, nor do you look back to see if they're following. This autonomy creates a distance they can't bridge, leaving them grappling with the realization that they have no say in your story. It's like trying to grasp smoke. The tighter they try to hold on, the more it slips away. The absence of their influence leaves them feeling powerless, a sensation they're not accustomed to. They've built their sense of authority on the ability to guide or manipulate others, and when they encounter someone they can't control, It shakes the foundation of their identity. It's as if they're playing a game where the rules have suddenly changed, and no matter how hard they try, they can't seem to win. Your refusal to conform to their expectations is not an act of rebellion. It's an act of self-preservation. You understand that seeking validation from others is a trap, a slippery slope that leads to losing yourself in their opinions. Instead, you've chosen to define your own worth, drawing strength from within rather than from external approval. This choice renders their judgments irrelevant, like whispers in the wind that can't disrupt your journey. What frustrates them most is the realization that they can't define you. They've tried to label you, to fit you into a box that aligns with their understanding of the world. But you've broken free from those constraints, proving that their definitions hold no power over you. It's like trying to frame the sky. It stretches too wide, too vast, beyond the reach of any boundary they attempt to impose. Your independence shines brightest in your ability to move forward without hesitation. While they hesitate, waiting for permission or reassurance, you act decisively. This confidence is a reflection of your self-trust, a belief in your ability to navigate life without needing a map drawn by someone else. It's not arrogance. It's a quiet knowing that your path is yours to walk, and no one else can dictate where it leads. This level of freedom unsettles them because it exposes their own dependence on others. Watching you operate without seeking approval forces them to confront their own reliance on external validation. It's a contrast they can't ignore, a mirror that shows them the limits of their own choices. And instead of learning from it, they lash out, projecting their frustration onto you. Your self-reliance also means that their attempts to undermine you have no effect. Their criticisms bounce off like raindrops on a well-sealed surface, unable to penetrate the core of who you are. This resilience is not born from stubbornness, but from the understanding that their opinions don't define your reality. It's like a tree standing firm in the wind. The roots run too deep for any storm to uproot it. Their anger stems from the recognition that they've lost their grip. They can't sway you, influence you, or direct your course. This loss of control is unsettling for those who've built their identity on dictating the paths of others. It leaves them grasping at straws, unsure of how to interact with someone who operates entirely outside their sphere of influence. By breaking free from their control, you've created a life that's truly your own. This autonomy is a source of both envy and frustration for them. They see in you what they wish they had: the courage to break away, the strength to stand alone, and the clarity to define their own path. But instead of finding inspiration, they allow their fear and insecurity to take over, fueling their resentment. Your independence is a testament to your strength, a quiet rebellion against the idea that anyone else can dictate your worth or direction. It's not about defiance, it's about freedom. And while they may never understand or accept it, their frustration is proof that you've stepped into a realm they can only dream of, a place where you are untouchable, unstoppable, and completely in control of your own destiny. Turning adversity into advantage pressure has a way of revealing the true nature of things, like how heat transforms raw ore into refined metal. For you, adversity is not a stumbling block, but a tool, a crucible in which your resilience is forged. Where others see obstacles as insurmountable walls, you see opportunities to grow stronger, smarter, and more determined. Each setback becomes a stepping stone pushing you closer to your goals and sharpening your skills along the way. Challenges, for many, are like storms that leave destruction in their wake. But for you, they're like the rain that nourishes the soil. They feed your hunger for growth, forcing you to dig deeper into your reserves of strength and creativity. When the winds blow hardest, you don't waver. Instead, you root yourself firmly and find a way to thrive in the chaos. This ability to turn adversity into advantage sets you apart, making you a force that cannot be easily derailed. Your approach to setbacks is like that of an artist working with flawed materials. Where others might discard a broken piece, you take it and craft something extraordinary. Every challenge becomes part of the masterpiece you're creating, adding layers of complexity and depth to your journey. It's not about pretending the struggles don't exist. It's about using them as raw material for your transformation. This resilience confounds those who expect you to falter under pressure. They watch, waiting for signs of weakness, but instead, they see you rise, stronger and more determined than before. It's as if they're expecting a candle to be snuffed out by the wind, only to realize you're a fire that grows fiercer in the face of a storm. Your ability to adapt and thrive leaves them unsettled, unsure of how to reconcile their expectations with your reality. Adversity also has a way of sharpening your focus. When faced with challenges, you strip away distractions and hone in on what truly matters. This clarity of purpose gives you an edge, allowing you to move forward with precision while others flounder in confusion. It's like navigating through a dense forest. You find the path, not because it's easy, but because you refuse to give up until you do. Every setback you've faced has added to your strength, like layers of steel forged through fire. These experiences have given you an inner fortitude that cannot be shaken by fleeting difficulties. While others crumble under the weight of pressure, you carry it with ease, turning it into a tool for your ascent. This ability to thrive under strain is what elevates you, setting you apart from those who let challenges define them. Your adaptability in the face of adversity is another quality that sets you apart. You don't cling to rigid plans or fixed ideas. Instead, you adjust and innovate, finding solutions where others see dead ends. It's like water finding its way around obstacles. It may take a different route, but it always reaches its destination. This flexibility ensures that no challenge is too great to overcome, no barrier too high to surmount. The strength you've gained from overcoming challenges is not just physical or mental, it's also emotional. Each hardship has taught you patience, perseverance, and the value of staying true to yourself even when the odds seem stacked against you. This emotional resilience is like the roots of a tree, anchoring you firmly while allowing you to grow tall and withstand life's storms. What's remarkable is how you've managed to turn adversity into an advantage, not just for yourself, but for others as well. Your journey inspires those who witness it, showing them that challenges are not the end, but a new beginning. It's like turning a barren field into a lush garden. What once seemed lifeless now becomes a source of beauty and abundance. Those who underestimate you often fail to understand this core aspect of your character. They see challenges as things that should break you, but they don't realize that adversity is your training ground. Every trial you've faced has been a lesson, every obstacle an opportunity to refine your skills and deepen your resolve. It's like forging a sword. The process is arduous, but the result is a blade that can cut through anything. This ability to thrive under pressure makes you unshakable. You're not afraid of challenges because you've faced them before and come out stronger every time. It's not that you seek adversity, but when it arrives, you face it head-on, knowing it's an integral part of your journey. This resilience is your superpower, a quality that elevates you above those who let fear or doubt hold them back. In the end, your relationship with adversity is what sets you apart. It's not just something you endure, it's something you embrace, knowing it's shaping you into the best version of yourself. While others shy away from the struggle, you lean into it, turning every challenge into an opportunity to rise even higher. This ability to turn adversity into advantage is what makes you truly unstoppable. The ripple effect of your success. Your success is like a stone cast into still waters, creating ripples that extend far beyond the point of impact. It doesn't just affect those closest to you, it spreads outward, touching people you may never even meet. For some, these ripples are unsettling, disrupting the comfortable stagnation of their lives. For others, they're a call to action, a signal that greatness is possible if they're willing to rise to the challenge. Your journey has become more than just your own. It's a force that reshapes the landscape around you. As you climb higher, your accomplishments stand as a beacon, shining light on the possibilities that lie within everyone. It's like the first flower blooming in a barren field, signaling to others that growth is not only possible, but inevitable if they nurture their potential. For those who are willing to see it, your rise is proof that the boundaries they once believed in are illusions, waiting to be shattered. However, not everyone welcomes this disruption. For some, your success is a mirror, reflecting back their fears and insecurities. It forces them to confront the dreams they abandoned or the potential they never pursued. It's like a sudden gust of wind that rattles a house built on shaky foundations. Rather than facing the cracks, they blame the wind for exposing their vulnerabilities. Their frustration isn't about you. It's about what your success represents. Your journey also acts as a blueprint for those who are paying attention. They watch how you've navigated challenges, how you've turned setbacks into stepping stones, and they draw inspiration from your resilience. It's like watching an architect construct a towering structure from seemingly scattered materials. Each brick you lay teaches them that greatness is built one step at a time, through perseverance and vision. The ones who envy you, however, see your rise as a threat. It disrupts the narratives they've built to justify their own stagnation. They've told themselves that success is either unattainable or reserved for a select few, and your accomplishments challenge that belief. It's like the tide rising unexpectedly, forcing them to scramble to higher ground. Rather than adapting, they direct their energy toward resenting the force that caused the shift. What's remarkable is how your success creates a ripple effect, not just of envy, but of inspiration. For every person who feels threatened by your rise, there are others who feel encouraged, even empowered. They see in you a possibility they hadn't considered before, a reminder that their potential is waiting to be unlocked. It's like a wildfire, spreading not destruction, but growth, igniting dormant seeds and bringing new life to the surface. Your influence extends beyond what you do or say. It's felt in your presence, in the way you carry yourself, and in the legacy you're building. Those who admire you are drawn to this energy, finding in it a source of strength and motivation. Meanwhile, those who resent you can't help but feel its pull, even if they won't admit it. Your success has a gravity of its own, drawing everyone around you into its orbit. For those who are unsettled by your rise, their anger is the clearest proof of your impact. If your accomplishments were insignificant, they wouldn't feel the need to react so strongly. Their frustration is like the loud protests of someone trying to deny what they know to be true. It's a testament to the fact that your influence is impossible to ignore, no matter how much they might want to. Your journey also challenges the status quo, forcing everyone around you to re-evaluate what they thought they knew. It's like a sudden burst of sunlight breaking through a cloudy sky, revealing everything in sharper detail. Some people embrace the clarity, using it as an opportunity to grow. Others shrink back, unwilling to face the truths that have been illuminated. In many ways, your success serves as a catalyst for change. Whether people welcome it or not, it shakes things up, breaking through complacency and pushing everyone to reconsider what's possible. This ripple effect is one of the most powerful aspects of your journey. It's not just about what you achieve, it's about how your achievements inspire and challenge others. Even those who envy you can't escape this influence. Their anger, though directed at you, often sparks self-reflection, even if it's subconscious. It's like a thorn that irritates but also makes them aware of their own vulnerabilities. In time, some may even come to see your success as a lesson rather than a threat, though they may never openly acknowledge it. Ultimately, the ripple effect of your rise is a testament to your power and influence. Whether through inspiration or frustration, you leave an undeniable mark on those around you. Your journey is more than just a personal victory. It's a force that reshapes the world in ways both seen and unseen. And while some may resist or resent this change, their very reactions are proof that you've already made an indelible impact. If you resonate with this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Your support helps us spread these powerful messages further. Stay tuned for more and keep rising.